Hi, I'm Hayden Lindsey, and I run engineering and architecture for the Mainframe software division at Broadcom. My teams deliver solutions to clients around the world, and we must constantly improve how we do software engineering. To do so, we use the latest Devops and Agile practices and tools. Now, our teams are a mix of experienced and new to the mainframe talent. Each have their preferred ways of working and preferred tools. To maximize the benefits of DevOps, we did converge on modern processes. However, we did not force everyone to the same set of tools. Experienced developers use what they like. No need to rock that boat. But what do the next-gen developers know and like? Open source tools. Let me share some aspects of our internal DevOps journey, including our open-first approach and the benefits we've seen. I hope this inspires you to embark upon or accelerate your own DevOps journey. Now, we've done a ton of hiring recently. As you might expect, most folks already know tools like Git, Jenkins, Visual Studio Code, and they're minimalists, preferring to use APIs and command line interfaces. So, rather than learning new mainframe-specific tools, we doubled down on open source, augmenting and adapting these tools to work with the mainframe. Now, at the same time, we had a grassroots effort to create a CLI to access the mainframe. In fact, the CLI effort and our belief in opening up the mainframe were key factors that led us to launch Zoe with IBM and Rocket. Before long, our teams built over 28 Zoe conformant APIs and CLIs for their products. And they also built the API mediation layer and the Zoe Explorer. These APIs made it far easier to integrate our solutions with open source tools, accelerating our own development and extending their value to you. But what do our engineers do most of the time? They use a code editor, they use source code management system, they test, they debug. Visual Studio Code is open source and has seen explosive growth with over 14 million users. So we built the Code4Z extension, providing COBOL and assembler support. It's now part of our in-house toolkit, and we contributed it back to the community. On the SCM front, Git is extremely popular. To leverage our investment in Endeavor's build and deployment automation, we built Endeavor Bridge for Git. This allows our next gens to work in Git alongside their colleagues comfortable with the Endeavor UI, on the same code base and in parallel. Being open first is strategic for our internal development as well as for our customers. Furthermore, using, extending, and integrating open source solutions makes the mainframe developer experience like other platforms. With these popular open source tools and APIs to our tools, teams were using them. And of course, we wanted to encourage this, but we didn't want chaos either. We wanted some consistency and we wanted to help them. So we created a DevOps Center of Excellence to provide best practices and common tooling. We established KPIs to track improvements. Things like cycle time, throughput, work in progress, test automation, and code coverage percentages. So how's it working out? Let me share two examples. Two different teams, two different locations. One on a well-established product, the other on a newer solution. SysView, our monitoring solution, has been around a while and has a deep bench of experienced developers, as well as recent hires. They started with a homegrown file management system, little to no build or test automation, You get the picture. There was room for improvement. They decided to fully embrace open source and DevOps. The result? Today, they have a fully automated DevOps pipeline using open source tools as well as our own APIs to Endeavor and even SysView itself. Testing that took several days now takes a few minutes, leaving far more time for them to write code, improve their test cases, or do whatever developers do. For us, this proved diverse teams working on well-established products can absolutely leverage an open-first approach to achieve the benefits of DevOps, increased speed, quality, and productivity. And it's helped us attract even more new talent to join us. On the other end of the spectrum is a newer solution, Mainframe Operational Intelligence, or MOI. It uses machine learning to detect and even predict operational problems far faster and far more accurately than a human can. Now, in the early days, MOI was pretty much like the Wild West, with over 50 people across the globe using multiple CI/CD pipelines. Good innovation, but a bit chaotic. To bring the teams together, they consolidated to a single CI/CD pipeline that uses many open source tools, like double-digit many. So how did they fare? Well, they reduced build time 16-fold. They dropped code change cycle time by 10x. And these improvements are after starting with a fairly modern, if a bit disjoint, dev, build, and test environment. And by the way, not only were open source tools used for internal development, MOI itself is built using over 1,900 open source components. Now, for this to scale across an organization, everyone needed visibility into the health of the systems and initiatives. To support this, we built the Z Developer Portal. It provides dashboards for many different metrics. It enables people to request Center of Excellence assistance, and it allows anyone to stand up or tear down their own personal Z environment, providing us with the productivity we're looking for. Thus far, our DevOps adoption has gone quite well. We've seen strong results across the board from many teams, not just the two examples I shared. But here's one last stat. In the last year, we've seen a 33% increase in productivity. And our teams have really jumped on board. Developers are sharing their learnings at conferences and webinars. They're blogging a lot more, and they just seem happier. And while you might think I'm only talking about our next gens, I'm not. As with SysView, some of our most impressive DevOps pipelines are being used and improved by teams of next gens and veterans. Look, we've done Agile for years, and we're several years into this aggressive DevOps push, but we're still learning and still improving. This is a journey, not a destination, and we believe that an open-first approach is the way to go. And what's really exciting is our journey can be replicated anywhere. It's a journey your organization can benefit from too. The tools and community exist, and we're here to help. Thank you.